this is New Dram Drinker, and we're just concluding really the 3 videos of the basics collection that I've been doing. We've done which glasses you should choose for drinking your whiskey the best. We've done how to nose whiskey for the best. So now we're on to probably the most important part, which is how to drink your whiskey. So I've selected one of my favourites here. It doesn't matter which whiskey it is, to be honest. Pick one that you enjoy. It just makes it a bit easier. One thing to note with regards to kind of drinking whiskey against nosing it is that you can have a lot of different things: vanilla, apple, cherry, orange, spice, smoke on the nose. You can have a lot of different things, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to actually taste like that. It can be almost like 2 different drinks completely. So I don't think there's anything wrong with you if that's the case. Don't base a buying of a bottle of whiskey just off a nose, because like I say, at the end of the day, it is all about drinking it. So if it noses lovely but tastes horrible, then it's not worth it. You might as well have not bothered. So I'm going to give you a quick guide on how best to taste it. And it's, again, like we've said before with the nosing and everything else, it's subjective. You will pick up things that your friend, your wife, your partner may not necessarily pick up. It might be like you're drinking 2 completely different whiskies to each other. That's always going to happen. It's going to be very rare that you get the same things out of a whiskey. I think if you probably watch 10 reviews of the same whiskey on YouTube, they'll say that there's at least 1 or 2 things that what someone picks up that someone else doesn't. So it's all subjective, and it just comes down to whether you like that whiskey or not, as to whether you'll buy it again in the future. So we'll move on to actually tasting it now, and we'll see how we get on. Okay, so first of all, we'll imagine that I have nosed it already, because we've already been through that in a past video, and we'll go straight on to the taste. Now I do this in 3 stages, and there's a little kooky stage that I do of my own as well, so you can try and use that when I show you in a bit if you want. It works for me, might not work for you. So you want to take the glass up to your mouth, obviously. It's hard to drink if it isn't up to your mouth. Just take a sip, not too much. So just let it wash around your mouth, let it coat all around your tongue, all around your mouth, let it wash all over it. Don't try and make too many assumptions on what you can taste on that first drink, especially if it's your first drink of the day, because we have found that, me and my wife, when we drink our whiskies, it takes a couple of sips to actually acclimatise our kind of palates to drinking the whiskey, because it's so, like, obviously it's 40+% ABV, so it's a shock on your palate if you haven't had it all week, or it's your first drink of the weekend. So just let that one settle in, almost like just coat your mouth and get yourself ready for your drink. See, I've drank that now. I don't really pick up an awful lot because my mouth was more shocked by the actual whiskey taste. So don't be disheartened if that happens to you. So I'm going to go in for my second drink now, and I'm going to try and analyse it a little bit more. So excuse me if I go a bit quiet just while I think about what I'm tasting. So instantly it tastes more flavourful. There's a hell of a lot more going on. You don't have that shocking impact of alcohol in your mouth because you've already kind of primed it. I could definitely get apples then, vanilla. It's a hell of a lot sweeter on the second taste than the first one, so that's nice. A bit woody as well, a bit of wood. So that's a really nice drink, but it tastes a hell of a lot different from the first drink. So please do not get disheartened if you can't taste it much. Even on this one, even on the second one, if you're new to it, you will find that it takes you a little while to get the flavours. I'm going to go back in again for my third one. and this is where it should really explode, because we know that we've got over the whiskey kind of smack in the face. We know that we've tasted vanilla, apple, it's sweet, I know I like it, so I'm happy to go back in and have another drink, and I'm going to try and pick out some other things as well. This time, as you've got it, I keep it in my mouth a bit longer than I am, because I want to talk to you. I don't have any dead silences for too long. I don't want to lose your attention. When you're doing it on the second or the third one, almost try and breathe in through your nose at the same time as trying to taste it with your mouth, and it, like, the air will almost activate the flavours. It's kind of like, I think the best, I can't remember who it was, but another YouTuber that I watched, they said that it was similar to opening the front windows on your car when you're driving. You know, you get that buffeting noise in the back sometimes. That's almost like what the air's doing on the whiskey in your mouth. It's like buffeting it, and all the flavours and the smells are coming out, and that's a really good way. I really found that helpful, because I think that really does work, and it's a lovely thing when you can start to experience the whiskey a little bit more. Even from those 3 drinks that I've just had, it changed everyone. It got deeper, it got richer, it got nicer. The apple kind of popped more. You could just taste a bit more of the intricacies of the whiskey. And don't judge the whiskey on your first try. Give it a little bit, even with that fact, the fact that we've been letting the air breathe while I'm talking to you, it changes it as well. It just lets it all kind of grow. And that's the good thing about whiskey. It's not a pour it and forget about it, drink it. It grows, it adapts. You will grow. You might buy a bottle of whiskey that you hate at the start of your journey, and then go back to it months, years later, and absolutely love it. It might be one of your favourites. It was just that it maybe was a little bit too complex for you at the start. You just couldn't understand it, and maybe the price as well. Maybe you paid a good chunk of money for it, and it just didn't do what you thought it was going to do for you, because we all are kind of a bit guilty of the more money we spend, the more we expect. That doesn't necessarily work. I've got some cheaper whiskies that I like just as much as expensive ones, and it all comes down to your taste. And if, not being funny, but if your favourite whiskey is a £15 bottle of whiskey, fantastic, because that's the perfect scenario, isn't it? Why would you want to go and spend £100 on a bottle of whiskey when the one that's your favourite is £15? It's you're in a great position, and I would imagine that once you know that that is your favourite one at £15, you will know what you like in a whiskey, what tastes you like in a whiskey, what you're looking for in a whiskey. So then you can kind of review, go on YouTube, go online, find whiskies that are very similar to the one that you like. And there's lots of things to look for, you know, if it's bourbon, Scotch, Irish, Japanese, Indian. There's lots of different whiskies that you'll be able to find that match into the kind of taste that you like. I've got a lot of Irish whiskies up here, and they've all got a very similar kind of smooth, almost entry-level kind of whiskies. I think if I've got friends who haven't drank whiskey before, I always kind of aim for the Irish, because it's a nice kind of lead-in to the whiskey world. But then that can lead you into Japanese whiskey, which is equally kind of as smooth. They can be a little bit more higher ABV, so you can step up in the ABVs with Japanese whiskies. But it'll lead you down this path of all different routes that you can go down, and you'll get to a certain point and you'll find one that's maybe a sherry cask that you hadn't tried before, and you can go down that path and try all those. And trust me, if you've just started, or even if you've been drinking it for a while but you haven't really expanded kind of how many bottles you've got or how many you've tried, you've got such a world that's waiting for you out there with whiskey. Just bear with it, give yourself time, and you'll get there. One other thing I wanted to say as well is, with regards to the thing, if you're struggling tasting different elements within the whiskies and you're not quite sure what it is that you're tasting, which is what I can do sometimes. There is a I've got one here actually. I'll pick it up. It's called a whiskey tasting chart, and it's by the Whiskey Smiths, and I'll put a link underneath the video to it so you can print one out yourselves. And it just basically gives you a at the top it's the appearance, and it gives you all different colours and things, and you can just tick whichever one you're drinking it is. Then you've got nose, and it just gives you like a written kind of, you know, for instance, if you're nosing it and you got fruit, it gives you all the different fruits that you could potentially be tasting or nosing. So try that. That does help an awful lot. Same with the pallet, and then your final assessment on it. It's a great piece of paperwork to have, to be honest. It will help you. Print yourself out one or two, and it comes in handy. But I'll put the link underneath for that. So like I said, this is the last video in the basics. So we've done the glasses, so you know what glasses you should be using now. We've done how to nose to a certain degree. I mean, we'll get deeper later on in other videos, but you know to get yourself through how to nose now. And also we've done taste, how to taste it. Now my kooky little thing that I said I was going to do that I haven't done yet is, I find when I taste a whiskey, if I'm having trouble pinpointing certain flavours and things like that, or I just can't kind of connect with the whiskey, put the whiskey down, have a drink, put the whiskey down, I go for a walk around the house, I just go into the front room, have a look out the front window, just forget about the fact that I've been tasting whiskey, or I'm trying to taste whiskey, and all of a sudden you'll find these flavours develop in your mouth, because you're not trying to analyse it, you're not trying to think about it so deep. It's almost like you become taste blind, because you're so kind of analysing it that you just can't pick up on it. You want to pick up on so much, it just doesn't work. So take your mind off it just for a few seconds, just to go for a walk and put your drink down, and just see if that works, because it works for me, believe it or not. It's a strange one, but it does work for me. But so that's this basic section done. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's been informative, just to get you going. I mean, they're not being vastly long videos or kind of that in depth, but we'll get into more in depth as we go. And this channel obviously is new dram drinker, so we don't want to go kind of scaring you off and going full into it and tasting all kinds of things straight away. So I'm really happy to have you on the channel. I'm really happy you've took the time of your day to watch. I hope that it's set you off on a path and a journey of whiskey that you'll enjoy for many, many years to come. Keep on watching. I'm going to be reviewing most of the whiskies I've got up here in kind of the order that I bought them in, because it got me really into whiskey, the order I did them in, and I think that I can pass that on to you guys, and you can forge your own path or follow mine or do what you want to do. But enjoy your whiskies. Our motto here at New Dram Drinker is pour it, drink it, enjoy it. I think it covers everything. I'd say the only one that other YouTubers use is share it, which is a good one. I don't think there's much better than sharing it. There's a lot of new things coming to New Dram Drinker. Keep your eyes peeled, subscribe and like, and click the bell, and you'll get notifications when the new videos drop. Thank you again for taking your time, and I'll speak to you soon. Thank you.